Hello and welcome to this quick video on how to register for and set up WEBCON apps. WEBCON apps or WEBCON Cloud Platform is the software as a service subscription model for WEBCON BPS, where we handle all infrastructure elements for you. WEBCONAPPS.com is the homepage for this service. If you would like to compare it to other methods of hosting WEBCON BPS, you can do that on the main site, webcon.com. We can start by clicking on the register button and either creating an account or logging in with Windows. Once you have an account and are logged in, you can manage your company profile. The home page will show any active subscriptions, of which we currently have none. We can add one on the subscription page by clicking Add New. Setting up a subscription includes choosing a portal address under which your applications will be hosted. This will act as your home page. In the drop-down on the right, you can choose between the different packages, Foundation or Enterprise. You can also try the 2-week free trial, or buy licenses for your own WEBCON BPS infrastructure. The price depends on the number of end users for your applications and the number of power users who will modify these applications. Optionally, you can add starter applications to your environment. You don't have to do this, but if you are new, they can help you get started using WEBCON BPS. Additionally, you will also need to set up a password for the admin account. And finally, you will need to decide on the payment method, either PayPal or credit card. Once created, the subscription may take a moment to process. You will be informed by email as soon as everything is ready. And once the subscription is active, you can see an overview on the home page and a more detailed report on the subscription page. On this details page and in the email that you will receive, you will have links to the next possible steps. You can either go to your brand new portal site and see how things look over there, or connect to Designer Studio via remote desktop. Let's start by visiting Portal. Log into the portal site with your admin credentials. Since we have some starter applications, you will have access to all of them as the administrator. Feel free to play around with these, launch a few workflow instances and check out the presentation elements. We will modify the configuration and add more users later in the video. For now, take a moment to explore the starter applications. I will create an instance in the Advances application, since it's at the top. Applications that you use often will appear in the Frequently Used section. Like many starter applications, the Advances application makes use of what we call a dictionary process. The full description of this application can be found on its corresponding site on the technical blog. The abridged version is that we need to define a group of users that will function as an accounting department and approve requests at some point of the workflow. So I will create such a group with the Add Group button. The group will be made up of people from your BPS users list. For now, we only have 2 users, the admin account and the account with which you registered. So in this case, I will use the Windows account. Back on the main page of the application, we see that the group was added and we can preview it. So now that we have an accounting group, let's try running the main workflow. We can do that by clicking on New Advanced button. This is what the form looks like. We can edit all of this later from Designer Studio. This is just what it looks like out of the box. Let's fill in this form and submit it for approval. Since we have admin privileges and we are logged in as the admin, we will be able to complete all tasks in this workflow. If you want, you can just do that and push the workflow to the end step to see how it works and how the form changes on the different steps. We can also take a look at the various presentation elements prepared for each application. In this case, we have a few dashboards that house buttons and reports, one administration dashboard that gives us the overview of the accounting groups, and one Advances dashboard, which gives us an overview of active advance requests. And of course, there are dedicated reports for the groups and for the active advance requests. Please feel free to explore and try out the various things on Portal. Once you are ready, we can move on into Designer Studio and try and modify some things from the back end. To get into your Designer Studio, you can grab the address from the subscription details page or from the welcome email. Either type the address into Remote Desktop or download the tool which will connect you automatically. As soon as you access the machine, Designer Studio should open automatically. Allow me to welcome you to your WEBCON BPS Command Center. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, the concept of WEBCON apps is that the infrastructure, so Designer Studio, Portal and the databases, are all hosted by us. You have access to Designer Studio via this remote desktop connection. If you are familiar with Designer Studio already, you can explore and verify some settings, like for example the portal address, the database names, and of course you can browse and modify all of your applications. So have fun. If you need assistance with navigating Designer Studio, check out some of the help resources posted on the landing page. Before I leave you, we should briefly talk about how to give users access to your portal frontend. To do that, we should stop by the System Settings tab. Apart from a lot of useful information about the system, for example the Global Privileges section, we can see the BPS users list. Our next task is to allow users to connect to our portal frontend and consequently give them permissions to use our applications. In this example, we would like to give our users two ways of logging into our system. First of all, through external providers like Gmail. This is what we call BPS Auth, and secondly through Azure Active Directory. Both of these can be activated in the system settings under Authentication Providers. For both WEBCON BPS Auth and for Azure Active Directory, we want to switch them to active. Each of these will require a service restart, which can be invoked from the subscription details page back on our WEBCON apps page where we set up the subscription details. We should give the service about 1 minute to restart, and then we are ready to go. Okay, let's try adding a user that will be authenticated by Gmail. To do this, we have to go to our portal admin panel. So either go to your portal and then type in /admin panel after the portal address, or use the link from the subscription details page. In this case, I will go to the user management and then all users. From this report, we can add users and assign licenses to them. Click on Add at the top of the report and fill out your user's information. Red asterisk fields are mandatory. Once added, the user will await synchronization. You can use the user cal columns to assign regular user and power user licenses to your people, provided that you have enough available licenses, of course. The user that you added will get synchronized into the BPS user list at the nearest scheduled synchronization. You can also invoke an immediate synchronization outside of the schedule. And then you can log in with that user to the front-end portal page. However, keep in mind that you will need to give this new user privileges to access certain applications. If you don't give them access to anything, they will get a message telling them that they need access to at least one application. As for Azure Active Directory, you'll want to go to your portal.azure.com page. Here you will want to register a new application. When registering the app, in the redirect URI, provide your WEBCON portal address with the suffix /signin-aad. Once registered, we will need to set up API permissions. Set them up as shown on this graph. You can pause the video here and follow the link to the article for the full write-up of this. Now that we've registered an application in Azure, we can connect it with our WEBCON BPS system. From the Azure portal, you'll want to grab two things, the client ID and the tenant ID. We will need to put this into two places. First of all, of course, into Designer Studio, in the AAD configuration under System Settings. Secondly, in the WEBCON portal admin panel. Here you will also need one additional thing, the client secret. You can get this back from your Azure application from the Certificates and Secrets page. Finally, we can run the synchronization and assign licenses to our users. Like before, we will also need to give our users privileges from inside WEBCON BPS Designer Studio so that they can actually access WEBCON portal elements and applications in their browsers. More information on user privileges and creating groups will be provided in a companion article. Thank you for watching this brief introduction to WEBCON BPS Cloud Portal. There will be many articles and videos released in the near future, so stay posted. In the meantime, you can go watch our previous video where Mike Fitzmaurice discusses our newest release, WEBCON BPS 2020, and there he also goes over the registration process for WEBCONAPPS. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next one.